East to West trip begins.
Time stops when we're alone. You got my love, don't let it go. Feels like we're paper thin, one step away from caving in. When you're out with all the wild roads and you're looking for a way back home, I'll be the light that only you can see.
G'day everyone, it's just Tommy from Four Boys in Caravan. Unfortunately, I'm here by myself tonight. Poor Amy's got a shocking migraine, so she's having to sit in the van with the kids. Well, welcome to our very first live. So this is completely new for us. We've done a couple little ones in the past, but this is a new thing that we are trialing out thanks to Australian Caravan Centre. All right, so the East to West trip. Yes, we are travelling from Byron Bay all the way to Steep Point in WA, and we are going straight through the middle. So we're doing Australia's greatest shortcut. So that is basically that is going from Winton right through to Alice, out past Uluru, and then coming out at Laverton, and then we're going straight for the coast at Geraldton, and there we'll make our way up. So let me give you a little look. I'll show you exactly roughly where this will go. Have a look at this route. So we're starting off in Byron Bay, obviously going to some cool outback places, and we hit Winton. We come back down to Central Australia and going pretty remote out here, hitting the coastline at Geraldton, and then again coming up to Steep Point. So that's what the trip's going to look like. Fingers crossed it actually goes like that. You just never know with the weather. Anything like that's how it's gonna pan out, because we could all of a sudden get a huge amount of rain and we may have to backtrack. But it is going to be a lot of fun. So obviously we started in Byron Bay. Unfortunately, the track that goes out to the very most easterly point at Byron Bay, the actual track was closed. So we had to make do with what we got. But this is little photo. So we went there a few years ago. The kids were a bit smaller then. This is actually what the thing looked like. As you can see, the most easterly point sitting on there. So that was a little while ago. The kids were a bit smaller then. But yeah, that's what we're hoping to get. But unfortunately, it's closed for another few weeks. So we left Byron Bay. I am currently sitting right now in Stanthorpe. So it is bitterly cold out here. So it's definitely very cold. But it is a cracker spot. So we had to make sure we come here on our route, because we really do love it up here. There's some amazing wineries, amazing, what else is there? Probably the Christmas farm. I'll show you a video of the Christmas farm in a minute. Oh, if you can hear that noise, I think that's the washing machine going. So also we are doing this trip in our Leader 25-foot quad bunk caravan. So we've picked up our brand new caravan. Just over a week ago now, we picked her up. Again, we love this layout. The 25-foot Leader quad bunk caravan is by far the best layout. It's basically what's enabled us to stay on the road for 7 years. Now, we've actually been stuck on the Gold Coast. Not stuck, I wouldn't say stuck. We had a little break. We sat still for, what do we say? Probably 7 to 8 months we've been sat in the Gold Coast, staying at a place called NRMA Treasure Island on the Gold Coast. And I also started up the caravan dealership for Australian Caravan Centre in Chindera. So we got that running. I think I was there for about 4 months and got that place up and running, which was a lot of fun and completely different for us. So we got a brand new caravan. We left the Gold Coast and just testing this van out straight up the hill. We went straight over the Great Dividing Range. Oh, geez, that was a thrill, especially with the big 25-foot caravan. But because it's weighted so well, the chassis is made really well, it made it so much easier. We come up over that Great Dividing Range, trucks everywhere, and we hit those open plains on the way out to Stanthorpe, and that was just beautiful. Kelly, make sure we got extra tires. Yes, the extra tires. I'm hoping we've done the gib and everything like that with our van. We're really hoping that we don't have any punches, because I mean, caravan tires, they're not really driving, they're kind of rolling along. So we've only had one puncher in 7 years, but I do have a puncher repair kit just to keep us out of trouble. Yes, so we arrived in Stanthorpe, and what do we do? Let me just show you a quick little place that we went to. As I mentioned, the Christmas farm before. It's one of the places we absolutely love. Check this out. It's called the Christmas Village. So basically, you rock up there. There is animals around. You get to feed all the animals there. There's turkeys, there's chickens, there's sheep. They used to have a whole lot of goats. The goats aren't there at the moment. The kids always love sticking their heads in places like that. But the decorations you get in this place is absolutely next level. So if you're a bit of a Christmas fanatic like us, this is a great spot. Absolutely great spot. We love it. We used to go a bit nuts back when we owned a house with the Christmas decorations. Jet loves doing his Grinch face there. Yeah, we used to go a bit nuts. So that place really hit the spot. Now, let me just show you where we're staying. We are staying at the Stanthorpe Holiday Park. So this is it's been purchased by a nice young couple called Amanda and Blake. So we thought we'd come and check this place out. It's an old park that they've purchased, and geez, they are going hell for leather on this place, getting it up and running and making it look insane. So I'll show you our little camp spot where we are now. Yeah, it's a great little spot. Yeah, we're in the free powered section right there, and I'll show you a little video from the other side. So this is our little spot down here. It is, as I said, it is bitterly cold, so you need to come rugged up when you're getting up here. But look at that. Like, it's sensational. It's beautiful blue skies up here. You got a great little fire pit, communal fire pit down there where you can sit around. And you got a little creek right at the edge there, and they have spotted platypuses in that creek. So that's a great little spot. So if you're coming up this way, make sure you head to the Stanthorpe Holiday Park. We definitely recommend it. They are putting in a huge amount of work. I've even seen they're going to be putting in some really cool bathtubs and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, Kelly. Yes, we have been. No, actually, I haven't been to the Christmas shop next to Harbour Town. We'll have to definitely check it out. Amy and the kids have been in there, but I've never actually been in there. So, yeah, so while in Stanthorpe, we have been to some really cool places. We'll have to probably put that up in the next live. So some really cool wineries, lots of jams and all that around. So it's fantastic. All right, so our new van. We have got, it's almost the same layout in our van, apart from we've pushed the bed over to one side, big double cupboards on the other side. And we've put in some really cool new colors in this van. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting up a bit of a van tour shortly. We're going to try and possibly get that for the next live so we can show you a little bit in the inside. We have stayed with the standard roller rocker suspension. So we're really, really happy with how our van has gone over the years. We've never felt we needed kind of the off-road. I always drive to conditions. The only thing that I always really need is a bit of clearance, because it's a 25-foot caravan. We really need that clearance. So that certainly helps a lot. G'day, Janine. Thanks for following along. Yes, and yeah, we love the van, which is why we're actually on our third van now. So the first van we had for 4.5 years, and we did a whole lap of Australia in that. We did the Gibb River Road. We did every beach camp in WA. And that was that was a complete stock standard. So it was already on the yard floor. We walked in, fell in love with it straight away, purchased it, and then hit the road again with it. And then after 4.5 years, we decided we wanted to upgrade. We basically just wanted to pick our own colors, change a little bit of the layout, that kind of stuff. And then we had that for about 18, nearly 2 years. And then we decided to upgrade again. We find that you get better value when you're trading your vans or selling your vans if it's not too old. So that kind of 2 years really seemed to work really well. So which is what we'll probably continue to do if we decide to keep traveling and living in the caravan. We'll probably trade them in or sell them every 2 years, and it works really well. Again, so if anyone's got any questions about the caravan at all, just let us know. So this trip, so we're here. So we did Byron Bay straight up to Stanthorpe. Loving Stanthorpe. Well, we love Byron Bay as well, but Stanthorpe is really cool. And from here, we're pretty much free camping all the way to Uluru. Well, to Alice Springs. That's probably where we'll plug into power next. But we're doing some really cool places. We've got Charlotte Plains, Lara Wetlands, Winton, Longreach. We're doing all those kind of areas and just really trying to find some really cool free camps along the way and really giving this good caravan a good test. We've put in a decent battery system in this one. It's called the Big Trip package is basically what it's called. It's got 600 amps of lithium. It's got over a kilowatt of solar on the roof, a 3,000 watt inverter, and it's wired to everything in the van. So we can run everything off grid. So we love it, and it works really well. So what are the highlights? We're really looking forward to getting to Uluru. We said we're going to try and push through and get there for Chase's birthday. So Chase really, he wanted to have it somewhere on the Gold Coast and have a bit of fun, but we said, well, we're going to do this trip. Where do you want to have your birthday on this trip? And he said Uluru. So we're going to make sure that happens. We're really excited to get over there and check all that out. But past Uluru, there's not much around there, but we cannot wait to get over to that WA coastline again. It's going to be sensational. We're hoping to spend quite a lot of time. So we're going to hit the coast at Geraldton and then make our way up to Steep Point. And then once we get to Steep Point, we're going to head straight for that Ningaloo coast. Once we've completed that trip, we're heading straight up to the Ningaloo coast, and we're going to, just chill there for a bit and just really soak it all in. So, which I really can't wait for. So unfortunately, Amy's not here. It's a pity she's not feeling the best, but she's pretty much she's planned this whole trip basically. So any questions you got about that, you can flick in the comments here and we can answer them later on. Have you gone? All right. Kelly wants to know, how have you gone for bedroom for the kids as they have gotten older? Really good question. So the bunks in the quad van, they are pretty much 6 foot. So they're about 1880 centimeters long, millimeters long. Tyler, our oldest, he is almost at the end of that. So, he is 15 now. So it's almost time to get him out in a swag, I reckon. So, but at the moment he still loves it. He's happy not to go out in a swag, and Amy's pretty happy for him to stay in the van as well, where she keep an eye on him. Tyler hasn't got as much stuff in his bed. At the start of the travels, we had a little box at the end of each bed. Tyler's is now gone, so he needs a leg room. Or he just kind of pushes a lot of his stuff off to the side, but it's still acceptable. If you go for like most 21.6 vans, they have much bigger bunks. So they got like 6.5 foot bunks in the Leader and Supreme range. So they're a lot bigger. So they're massive. So if you've only got 2 or 3 kids, a 21.6 means you get massive bunks in those. G'day, Michael. Yep. Yes, Michael. Your van. Can't wait for you to get your van. Michael, I sold him a caravan at the Brisbane show. You're going to have a great time, Michael. All right, Wade, is the van a full off-road with additional high clearance? No, it is not. We only gave it a 2-inch clearance, still with the standard suspension. Unfortunately, I've got an old Land Cruiser. could not do the off-road suspension. It was just way too heavy for me. Plus, I've gone, nearly 7 years without it. So I've just got to really just concentrate when I'm doing those kind of roads, like the real rough roads. I just got to make sure I get my tire pressures spot on and just get that speed exactly how I need to. So I would have loved to put some Cruise Master suspension on. I love the new stuff. The leader in that do the dirt rotor, which is the Cruise Master CRS2 suspension. That's a cracker of a one. If you don't want to go for the full off road, it's like a next step between the full off road and the semi off road. That Cruise Master CRS2, so it's great. It just doesn't have the huge travel, the height travel in the suspension. Kelly, yes, the Ningler, yeah, we are dying, absolutely dying to get over there. We had to brush off the old snorkels and make sure they're all good before we left on the trip. Thanks, Andrea. Do you guys see this all coming to an end as the kids are growing up? Yeah, great question. So obviously Tyler is 15 now. And we did stop for about 7 to 8 months on the Gold Coast, just to give us all a break, to be honest, and just recharge the batteries because, traveling full time for so long, it can get a bit tiring. So it was good to really reset. And honestly, we had a bit of a break from social media as well because, having to post and film all the time, we just got to be normal, I guess, and just tune off and just relax from it all. So, but yeah, the kids are keen to keep traveling. Well, they're keen to get back over the Ningaloo. The hardest thing is I made some really good friends again on the coast. So leaving them, and the kids are pretty keen to do some sport next year. So we're going to try, and we won't be going nuts and doing lap after lap or anything like that. We'll probably sit still for a little bit again and let especially Chase, he's dying to play footy. So he did Auskick this year, so he wants to do proper footy. Jet wants to do cricket. Tyler wants to do footy as well. And Lincoln, I'm not sure what he wants to do yet. He just loves having fun with friends, to be honest. Yes. So again, once we finish this trip, we're still debating. We're still up in the air as to whether we head south or north. We keep thinking, geez, it'll be pretty cool to head up to Darwin and do a wet season up in Darwin or something like that, and just experience all those storms rolling in. Or we can just do the amazing that amazing coastline in southern WA and over into Adelaide, where Adelaide is probably one of the most underrated states going around. So you definitely got to get there. If you haven't done the peninsulas, the Eyre Peninsula is absolutely stunning. And if you ever get a chance to go to Kangaroo Island to take the van over, it's super expensive to take the van over. It costs us about $1,000 for it's like 15 minutes each way on the ferry. But once you're over there, it is stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah, we love it. If there's any other questions that are coming through, make sure you hit us up. But again, we're all super excited to do this trip. We can't wait to give this new leader a really good test out as well. Again, without the off-road suspension, we're going to see how we go. But again, we've done the Gibb River Road. We've done, thousands of corrugations in the old caravans without any hiccup. So we're so confident in the van build that we know it'll hold up. Absolutely no problems at all. Yes, Paul Fagan. Yes, we actually have some tow-alongs coming on this trip as well. My parents are going to actually join us for this trip. So we're hoping to meet them in Charlotte Plains. So they're mum and dad are retired, so they're traveling around in they've got an old little pop-top Goldstream, and they're gonna join us for most of the trip. So that's actually going to be helpful because it'll actually give us a hand with the schooling. Mum's a Mum's a retired teacher, so that's also going to be super handy, having her helping us out there with the kids. And also just in general, it's always can be safer as well traveling in a group, especially when you're so remote. If something does go wrong, you also got other people there. I mean, that's the other beauty of traveling Australia these days is that there is so many people traveling Australia now that you're never really out of reach. We've never had a sat phone or anything like that. Fingers crossed, we've never had a big emergency or anything like that, because there's always people around, And now we got the Starlink, so we're streaming straight off the Starlink now, and it just makes it so much easier. So Mum and Dad will be with us for most of this trip, which is going to be sensational. So make a change for us, kind of traveling with other people, because normally we don't really travel with a huge amount of people. We love catching up with others on the road, and we love to try and meet up with as many people as possible as we go. But yeah, no, we're really looking forward to having some company as we go. Kelly, awesome swimming with the dolphins on KI. Absolutely. It's probably one of my favorite memories, the dolphins on Kangaroo Island. Oh, stunning. Just straight off the beach. Trying to remember what beach it was. I think it was Eagle Bay or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. You can drive the van on there, and the dolphins come past. And I remember swimming out and just having the dolphins circle me for a good 15 to 20 minutes, which was just unbelievable. Along the Ningaloo coastline, how do you go with your dog? All right, this is probably one of the things that when we went to go get a dog, we had to make sure that we can still go to all our favorite camp spots. So 14 Mile, South Lefroy, Windabandy, three of the best spots on the Ningaloo for us. And they're all dog friendly. So, we said as long as we can do those, we can still get a dog. So, so you just can't go into the obviously national park with a dog. But honestly, the snorkeling out at like South Lefroy, some of the best in Australia. Like, it is unbelievable. Yep. Yes. Thanks, Debbie. Yep. Yeah, we're super excited. Thank you so much for following along. We honestly, we're pinching ourselves after sitting still for so long. We're really pinching ourselves that we're off traveling again. And I got to say, there is a bit of adjustment again. Like, I feel we've got to adjust to traveling again after sitting still for 8 months. We've got to get used to just the traveling. Like, we're not going to have endless amounts of water. We're not going to be plugged into power. So we're back to adjusting and getting used to free camping and not being able to put the washing machine on whenever we want. One thing I did upgrade in the caravan. My mate Ben, he couldn't believe we didn't have it. We got a continuous hot water system put in the caravan. Oh my God, it is sensational, but it makes it difficult when you're free camping. You really got to watch your water because, with the standard ones, your gas electric, you run out of hot water. So that pretty much tells you when you need to get out. So we used to be able to get 4 kids all at once. Not all at once, but off one tank. But now with continuous, they they don't seem to care about how quick they need to have showers. They used to fight and argue about who was getting in the shower first, because whoever got in the shower first was always going to have a hot shower. Now they don't need to, but we have to be super careful because we can run out of water pretty quick if we are just going to just let the kids stay in the shower. So that's one thing we've got to do, is we've got to get used to showering properly, quick rinses, that kind of stuff. So that's going to be interesting again. All right, how big are the tanks in the caravan, the water tanks? So we've only got the 2 95-litre water tanks, and just the 95-litre grey water tank. The grey water tank we hardly ever use. It's mainly showgrounds and that kind of stuff where occasionally we have to use it. But the 95-litre, the 2 95-litre tanks, that's generally done us. I would have loved to put another one on. Again, weight, couldn't do it. even maybe a 60-litre dedicated drinking water tank. But the other thing is that it adds an extra water pump into the cupboards. So it's again taking up more cupboard space. You need another tap. You need another tap to come out up the top as well. So taking up a little bit more bench space and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we just have to make do. Again, you travel within your means, I guess. And we've always had our 180 litres of water, and that seemed to do us okay. We do one tip though. We don't drink out of our tanks, so we carry separate drinking water, especially when we're going remote, because we just chuck a couple of jerry cans of drinking water, one on the back of the van, probably one up on the roof, and sometimes we might chuck an extra one in the van because that water's like gold, honestly. Water is what will generally dictate exactly how long you're going to be in one spot for. Yeah. Power, you can survive. You can, if you get a bit low on power, you can run on your gas. You can do all your cooking with gas and that kind of stuff. But water, if you run out, you're pretty much stuffed. What a lot of people do is they also get a little water bladder that they put in the car. So if you're in a really cool spot, like on the Ningaloo coast or something like that, you can do a bit of day trip in Exmouth or Coral Bay and fill up a big water bladder and transport some more water back to your van. That's a good way to do it. Or, we've got mates as well that have put a little desal plant on their caravan, and they pull water straight out of the ocean, drinking water. So, but again, you need a decent battery system to be able to do that. Do you think a Nissan Pathfinder will tow well for a caravan size with those larger beds? You just have to double check. It's your GCM that's going to be what you're looking at on the Pathfinder. I don't know it off the top of my head. I can look it up for you and find out, Kelly, to check if one of those 21.6s. Or the other option you got little 18-footer for leader. The 18-footer caravan's got the bunks across the back, and it's a little single axle with a full ensuite. It's a great little layout with an east to west bed. You'll be able to tow that, and that's got huge bunks across the back. So check that one out. It's a Leader Gold LE, little 18-footer single axle. Guessing where you're staying now, you can't have a fire. You can have a fire. There is a little fire pit down here. We just didn't have any firewood on us, to be honest. It's one thing that we forgot to get. And then one thing I really wanted to get is an electric chainsaw, because I've only got a standard bush saw. So that's kind of my exercise of getting fit back on the road again, is cutting up all the firewood. Little electric chainsaw would have been super handy. But yeah, no, we've got a fire pit. We just didn't actually borrow it off of my mate Ben, because we did have a really big solid one, and we had to cut it down because of weight. So we got my mate had a little cheap lightweight one out of BCF, and we're going to give that a crack on the trip. But I mean, most places have already got fire pits all set up. This place has got a big communal one down there, but we could have put a fire out here, but I forgot to get some wood, so I couldn't be asked going out and paying for any. So, but the next stop will probably, our next stop, we're heading towards, making our way towards Charlotte Plains. We're going to stop about halfway at a place possibly called Thelen. So we're hoping to get there. What's the current weight of your van fully loaded? Well, it's going to be about 3.4 to 3.5, somewhere around there. So the tear on my van is just hitting 2.9. 2.9 tear with that big battery system. So it's about 100 kilos heavier than my last van. So we had to offload. Like we got rid of the barbecue. We got rid of a whole lot of stuff. So because we got a decent battery system on that, we use the air fryer a lot. We use induction cooktop, and we use we use the oven all the time and the cooktop inside. So so we thought, bugger it, we hardly ever use the barbecue. Let's get rid of it and drop a bit of weight. And yeah, we just got rid of a whole lot of extra clothes and stuff that you clutter along the way. We got rid of all that to keep us right down. Even on the car, we got rid of a heap of stuff. Yeah, it's just it's honestly amazing what you can travel with. You can travel with bugger all if you really wanted to. You can go crazy and over the top and add this and that and go nuts. But really, you can travel with a car and a tent and a portable toilet if you really needed to. We think, honestly, now traveling in one of these liter vans it's like a fancy apartment. It's so easy to live in and travel in. It's certainly not camping anymore. It's fancy camping. Yep. But again, I see people traveling Australia in rooftop tents and, all that kind of stuff. If you really, really want to hit the road and you can't afford a big setup, then definitely, yeah, you can still make it work. 100%. All right. How long are we going for? About half an hour I've been going for. Yeah, so if there's any other questions, again, this is our first live stream. So it's a bit of work in progress. I'm hoping Amy is going to be able to join us for the next one. I'm pretty sure she'll be right by then. But yeah, it's been fun. I've really enjoyed this. This is a new thing for us to do. Yeah, and I really hope you guys enjoy it because it's another way that we can kind of personalize our interactions with you guys. Bring you along for the journey. We can't wait once we leave here and get to some of these off-grid places. Get to some of these camp spots that we can share with you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun, that's for sure. Yeah, so if there's any other questions, you can put a comment. You can send us a message. You can flick us a message on Instagram, Facebook. I think we're on pretty much everything now. But yeah, and again, we just love following you along. Yes. Yes, Bettina. Yes, sorry. Yes, we do have our dog with us, Teddy. He's definitely part of the family. He's not going anywhere, so he'll come with us everywhere. Yeah, he's the best travel dog. Again, he's another one that's got to get used to traveling again. Being in a different place all the time, he kind of got used to sitting still as well. But he's not going anywhere, Teddy. He'll always be with us. He's definitely part of the family, and it makes it so easy to travel Australia with a dog as well. So it's takes a little bit more planning, and there's an app you can use called Mad Paws if you need to find dog sitters around Australia. That'll find your local dog sitters anywhere. Yeah, thanks heaps, Wade. Mate, you guys can hit us up at any time. If anyone's got any questions about caravans, traveling, schooling, anything to do with traveling Australia, make sure you hit us up. We're here to help. We just absolutely love trying to get other people out on the road traveling Australia. The other thing I love helping sell vans. I love trying to get people into their dream van. I know what works. I know what doesn't. I generally people tell me what they want to do, and I'll try and make that happen for them. So if anyone's got any questions about vans, brand new, secondhand, let us know. I can help you out because I also repair vans along the way. And that's one other thing I had to ditch. I had to ditch a whole lot of tools as well because that added just way too much weight. So back to the bare minimum. So I can't do huge amount of jobs. So I'll have to wait till I get back on the Gold Coast so I can do some of those bigger jobs again. But I've got enough to fix most things, which would be good. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Boxer Bonnie loves it. Yep. Oh, how's your car holding up with the new van? Oh, yes, the car has done a lot of Ks. Well, not as much as my mate Ben. He's just clocked over 500,000 in his, but mine's done. It's done about 430,000 Ks now. And the reason why we're still traveling in it because we got an old turbo diesel 100 series 2004. That's probably one of the best engines on the market, to be honest, and it just keeps going. The rust is probably going to kill it before anything. I've had to patch up a few rust spots. It's hard getting work done when you travel on your car, especially with all the rust. We've gone through too much salt water, I think, occasionally. But yeah, it's we had to spend a bit of money before this trip. I had to get a new radiator. I had to get the timing belt done. All this kind of stuff. The alternator died on it. But again, I can patch it up and it just keeps going, keeps pulling. It's not quite as quick as what it used to be, but it still goes. It still goes. So I don't push it too hard. I drive responsibly with it, I guess. Would I want a bigger car? Oh, yeah, I'd love a car that's probably got a little bit more power. Probably something a little bit modern, bit more modern. But again, this car for this trip, absolutely perfect. I know if something does go wrong, that I can either pretty much fix it, or there's always a mechanic that that has got parts for them. And that's one of the main reasons I went with the Land Cruiser, the 100 series turbo diesel, because I can get parts all around Australia. Yep. And that's another reason why I went with a Leader Caravan, because it's just so reliable, super reliable. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'll probably wrap that up. The next live, we're obviously going to have a lot more footage for you, because we're going to be going to some really cool places once we leave here. I'm especially excited for Charlotte Plains. It's the hot artesian bathtubs. Hoping to get one right next to the van, which would be stunning. So I can't wait to show you that. Send us a message along the way. Got any questions? But really, really looking forward to this trip and taking you all with us. So thanks heaps, everyone. Again, any questions, message us, and we'll see you next week. See you guys.